On.
Hi, and welcome to episode 13 of the Aimless Yarn podcast, where two best mates talk about funny and awkward stories from back in the day. Episode 13, Luke. Can you
13,
believe
the unlucky episode.
the unlucky? That's what we should call it. Just the
The
unlucky episode.
The unlucky episode, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, you could call it an unlucky episode because some of the I've got quite an unlucky story to tell.
Have you?
Yeah.
What is it
It
related
turned out
to?
all right, but part of it were quite unlucky.
Was
So-
was this what you've been up to?
No,
week?
it was well, it's to do with the topic of the episode. But
Okay.
yeah, we'll see. We'll get to that.
Okay,
So,
no.
yeah.
So what have you been up to this week, Luke?
Well, I had my COVID jab on Friday.
You had it, and didn't the world know about
Yes,
it, Luke?
The world knew about it. I never whinge. I never whinge about anything on
Bollocks.
Facebook. I don't about anything on Facebook, but that day I felt like bad.
That you had to broadcast it on Facebook.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I thought anyone who's having the jab, I'm going to let them know what to expect.
Yeah. My arm hurts. World's
Tell you what
smallest
happened to me.
violin. Go on.
I got my jab, right?
Yeah.
My arm almost went numb immediately. And they're like, don't drive 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'll wait. And then all that afternoon, I seemed fine. And to the evening, I started, it's the AstraZeneca one, so I started getting like drowsy and stuff like that.
Did you?
I like on my knees on the floor with my head rested on settee like that. I just couldn't bloody move. I was that knackered. I had washing that needed folding all around me, you know. That was one of my tasks. I just had
Random
like that.
task.
Yeah. And then we sat and watched the back end of a film that we'd not finished.
Yeah.
And then went to bed. And then it was Saturday morning. So when we were normally on a Saturday morning, I'll come downstairs with Ethan so Claire can have more time in bed.
Yes.
Because she's up all night sorting him out. And and I get up as well to change him in the middle of the night, but she does most of it. But I literally couldn't string a sentence together when we woke up. She's like, so couldn't you take Ethan down so I can have a bit more rest? And I couldn't formulate an answer. That's how unwell and how knackered I was. I just couldn't form it. And she go, okay, I'll go down there. And I went back to sleep. I did get up till 12 o'clock on Saturday.
Jesus. That's going back to like teenage years.
I know,
sleep.
but that was so I had more than
so
12
what
hours
you're
sleep.
Is the jab you had turned you into a teenager
Turned me
again.
into a teenager, yeah. For 48 hours. And then into evening again. So I got up and then I was all right in the afternoon. And then in evening again, I felt crap. I was doing the same thing, just falling asleep down here. And then I started getting this weird, like feeling
Erection.
of hunger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but even though I wasn't hungry, like when your stomach's just, when it gurgles your stomach to tell you you're hungry. But before it gurgles, you get a bit of tightness in your stomach before it does it. It was like stuck at that mode, and it was like I needed to burp and fart, and like it was telling me I needed to eat. I couldn't do any of that stuff. It was it was like that since till yesterday.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
So what could you eat then? Could you actually eat?
Yeah, I'd eat all my meals and stuff like that. But even though I wasn't hungry, the side effect to the jab made my stomach feel I was hungry, even though I knew I wasn't. So it was just a weird sensation and quite uncomfortable. Today I'm all right. I can still feel it a little bit, but today I'm all right. Yeah, just it's weird, isn't it? Just how strong it must be to cause that kind of reaction.
Well, I didn't have the same one as you. Look, I had the phaser one. Is it
Pfizer?
Pfizer. That's it.
Phaser's a weapon in Star Trek, mate.
Oh, is it?
Phaser.
Oh, God, maybe they gave me that instead. That's why there's probably a burn
Phaser
mark
to
in my arm. But yeah, I had mine,
Phaser's to
mate.
stone.
And it wasn't bad. I heard everyone warn me about the dead arm, so I just kind of thought that it's something to do with the muscle. So when I had mine, I just let my arm go really floppy when she injected me.
Yeah.
And then in that 15-minute waiting room, I just left it floppy because I thought as soon as I tense, it's gonna damage the muscle and make it feel worse. But anyway, it was tender, But I were fine. But Kaz has just had second jab. I'm getting mine. I think it's this Saturday actually, but she was really ill. She's still not right now.
No.
So I think I'm going to get the worst on the second one.
What is it? Because you've got asthma?
Yeah, it is.
Is that how you've got it? Because when did you last have like a asthma attack, or when have you last been in hospital?
It's been a while, but mine's comes on every summer because I get hay fever.
Right.
So I start wheezing and stuff. So
okay.
it must still be on
she's
record.
got asthma, but she just hasn't even heard out yet. Loads of people have got asthma have had jab, and she's not hearing out. You know, she's like, what's wrong? Why aren't I bloody getting it? Because she's stressed out. That I was surprised I got it. To be honest with you, I got the invite, but I think it's because the raging temperature that comes with the actual COVID disease might trigger a fit.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought when you said you'd had it. You know,
so I think that's probably what it is. But yeah,
but apparently the jab you had as well has a massive side effect of massive whinging.
Massive whinging, yeah. I've heard that,
yeah.
Although
but just on social media.
My mum had it on Saturday, but she don't whinge. She hadn't whinged.
Nah.
So maybe it's one of them, side effects that affect some people, not everybody.
Just males.
Some people, not everybody.
Yeah. It's got to be. It's got to be. So apart from being jabbed, what else have you been up to, Luke? Anything else? And your massive moaning on Facebook?
No, really. No, not much. Nah. Not much else since last week. Not much else to report.
Good. Well, I had a fairly chill weekend. It was fairly chilled, but I just got some odds and sods done, as you do. I managed to fit a TV in my garage.
Why?
Right. The reason is, I knew you were going to ask me this though. It's because
have you got a TV in your bathroom yet?
No. That is the plan eventually.
Why? Why?
Because Kaz likes the idea of having a lovely soaking bath whilst watching the TV.
So it's about relaxing, though. It's about relaxing. It's not about sitting and watching Neighbours, is it?
I don't like Neighbours.
What the hell would she be watching? I don't want to know. While she's in bath. Don't know what she might be watching.
I don't know what she'd be watching in the bathroom because I won't be allowed in there. That's for sure. Luke's drinking wine as we speak.
And she'd definitely change channel before you go in.
Yeah, put on. I don't know what she'd put on instead. But yeah, the reason I fitted one in the garage is because I've converted my garage into a gym, haven't I? Because we can't go to the gym at the minute.
Right. Okay.
So I built a gym, and then it felt a bit weird without a TV. So we had an old TV left over, so I fitted it. I'd already put a TV aerial in the loft of the garage, and then just connected it all up. So I did that, and I also fitted a little light to my workbench as well in there because it's quite hard to see under my workbench. And then I washed my car.
What do you use your workbench for?
Well, when I'm doing work on cars and stuff.
Oh right, okay, I see.
Yeah, I've got a vice and everything.
You have a vice? Have you got a hacksaw?
I've got a hacksaw. I've got ramps. I've got jacks. I've got axle stands. I've got a tool chest.
Have you got tin snips?
Tin snip? No.
You ain't got tin snips?
No.
You'd never get tin snips at work.
No.
I don't got tin snips. No one got tin snips.
No. That's for very, very brittle metal, I think, Luke. But yeah, that's what I've been up to, Luke. I've been, steady away.
Nice one.
So this week, Luke, what are we talking about?
Holidays.
That's right. But mainly it's aimed at what? Lads' holidays?
No, not just lads' holidays. Just like I've only really gone on one abroad friends' holiday, but I've had a few. Oh no, two. Because I went, two, but I only went on one of them with one mate, and the other one went with a few mates. But I've got a few, and one of them. Well, I'll start off.
Why are we talking about holidays first, Luke? before you throw? It looks like you're going to be sick.
I don't know. I think it's just I've got a few stories about being abroad and just kind of been on. We can't go abroad, can we? So I suppose you can talk about it, but
yeah, just make everyone feel worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I thought it'd be quite funny because you have some fond memories of holidays abroad, don't you, with your mates and that?
Normally,
yeah. So I thought it'd be a good topic to cover, like. But what was the first holiday we had together? Luke, was Morecambe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
15. But we've already covered that, so we can't really go into that.
Can't really go over it again, apart from the pints of Coke.
Yeah, pints of Coke. God.
Pints of Coke.
I'm just gonna next time, right? When we do return to normality, and if you ever say, "Oh, get us a pint, John," or something, it's my turn to go to bar. I'm just gonna bring you a pint of Coke, just for old time's sake.
No, sorry, it'll definitely get me going. It'll definitely get me going. Just come back with 2 pints of Coke.
2 pints of Coke. Oh dear!
I'm gonna try and do it first, I think.
Yeah, we've got to get each other with it. It'll be funny as out, won't it? Yeah. But yeah. When was your first holiday, Luke? Because I didn't really have a lads' holiday until a lot later on in life. Because
first time I went on holiday with a mate was Brewis, and I went to Ibiza with him.
How old were you?
So it'd have been like 2001 or something. 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
So that would have been the pinnacle of at the time of trance, wasn't it?
Yeah. And
so that must have been banging, mate. The music must have been absolutely banging.
It would just had the greatest week, and it would just. They got this nightclub called.
They've got a few nightclubs, Luke.
What's it called now? House Paradise.
Paradise, something like that.
Something like that. No, what's it bloody called now? Anyway, I'm going to find out. That's the name of a film, I think.
What, a porn film?
No.
That sounds very porn filmy. Paradiso. Well, Luke's now looking at his phone, by the way.
I can't remember silence. What it's called.
Well, I remember there's Manumission, isn't there? Or there was.
Yeah.
Space was another one that I'd heard about.
Space, yeah. I never actually went to that.
Well, apparently, it even back then it was about 50 quid to get in, wasn't it?
Mm.
And then obviously,
what the bloody hell is it called, that club? This is it. Paradise, yeah.
Oh, Paradise.
Paradise.
So was that the first nightclub you went
in? While we were there, yeah, and we didn't realise what it were all about, but we went in and partway through, it were a daytime thing.
Okay.
We went in daytime, and
was it evening?
Oh mate, it was absolutely
mental.
Chocker. And we didn't realise, but the dance floor kind of goes down in some steps in a circle.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Go on.
And then there's more steps and more steps and more steps. And me and Brewis were there. And then suddenly all these water jets come out, and me and Brewis are getting pissed wet through. And we're like, whoa, what's going on there? We thought it'd be like a bubble machine or some like smoke machines, but it's like water jets. Anyway, this dance floor that goes down a few steps becomes a swimming pool.
Oh, you're joking?
Yeah, and everybody's soaked. There's water coming from all bloody sprinklers up there. Everybody in there is absolutely piss wet through. And we just couldn't believe it. But the thing is, as novel as it was, you kind of look around and there's like plasters, floating in water, and you realise how manky it must be. You know what I mean? It's just gross. You need to get out there quick. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, you're going to catch a bloody disease.
Yeah.
But that were awesome. That was. It was funny because
How did that affect your pint though? If his water like spraying down,
exactly,
severely watered down pint of lager.
exactly. But it was shit beer anyway. You know what I mean? But it made it even worse. But yeah, that were weird because I just totally didn't expect that at all. We just stood there, dancing, and bloody what you just get so fucking water pipe.
What can you remember any songs that were playing? That
mate, I don't know, mate.
You know,
no, I can't remember all that type of stuff. You know all that type of stuff. I just enjoyed actually just dancing to music and getting pissed.
Yeah, I suppose you only heard one song. You knew. Bellissima.
Yeah, exactly. But then, because it were in daytime, we spent a few hours in there, and because it were in daytime, we came out and it was still daytime, and we were bone dry in about like 3 minutes. We came out and we were soaked, all his clothes were dripping and stuff like that, me and Bruce. For God's sake. And then we came out and we were on main front, and then we were dry within like 3 minutes. It was crazy. And then just a bit further down from there were one of this bungee rocket thing. And we're like, we'll have a go on that, and you sit in this.
Were you drunk then, or were you sober?
No, we'd had a few, but it was just, we weren't drunk, but we saw it, bungee rocket, and so we thought, we'll have a go on that one, and it was like a ball, a steel ball, like an atmosphere on Gladiators. We sit with chairs in it, and it's on two big bungee ropes, and you sit in it, and it flings you up in air. We just did all this crazy stuff on that day. And it was just funny. And then I remember walking back from there to the hotel. And there were these guys they called Lucky Men.
Oh yeah.
And hey, Del Boy, you want to buy some watches? No, cheers. Like every 10 meters, there's one, Hey, Del Boy. They all call you Del Boy. I can tell you because they could tell you from England. Hey, Del Boy, you want to buy some watches? But he's selling something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, like, if police show up, they leg it. Yeah. But when you see them in evening, they're always, hey, Del Boy, you want to buy some hash?
Did you buy any?
No, I said, will you fucking leave me alone? Hey, what's your problem? And the guy started following me. The last guy.
Oh, God.
The last guy, I got sick and tired of it. I goes, will you bloody leave me alone? I'm sick of you asking me. And then he goes, oi! And I turned around and he's following me. What's your problem? And I thought, oh shit, I picked up the wrong guy. I just said, I'm sorry, I've been asked that many times. And he goes, well, don't be rude,
Yeah.
All right, I won't be. Yeah. And then on one of the days, I've got a picture. I took a picture of it and sent it to Bruce.
Send it me because I'll whack it on Instagram for people who's listening to have a look, mate.
We went on a booze cruise one morning.
Oh God!
And I've actually found, because I had a load of VHSs, didn't I?
Yeah.
What I said, I had a load of tapes, and I borrowed Jodie's VCR and plugged it into my telly, and I played a load of tapes.
Yeah.
And I came across the video of that booze cruise.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So, and it's because it's so old, it's really poor quality.
Yeah.
But
it's 20 years ago, Luke.
Yeah. So there's a guy going round with this jug with a concoction in it, and
God.
And the timing. So he goes to someone and he's timing them how long they can keep drinking it until they stop drinking it, and like one guy goes on for like 20 seconds, another guy goes on for like 2 minutes. Anyway, they come to Bruce.
Oh, for God's
sake. Bruce had the biggest hangover from the night before. He was half dead nearly all day, And they came to Bruce. And he got ready, steady, and he closed his mouth and it all went down his top. He didn't even get to do it. just went all down his top. And it was so funny because
he's used to that, isn't he?
I'm gonna say, remember when we were talking about going out and he always had a stain on his top?
Yeah.
It ties into that. He spilled it all down himself. But oh man, he looks so young on that video as well.
It is 20 years ago, mate. Yeah. So if you're only 20 on that video,
so
that's gonna be it. Well, you have to put that on YouTube, mate, and then I'll put a link to it.
Yeah, but I took a picture of it and sent it to him. Let me see if I can get it on here now.
What, you're gonna show it on the screen?
You sent a photo.
I don't think he will it, with backdrop?
I'll just not the backdrop off. Well, I'll see if this works first.
All I can see is Luke. Nah, it's not working, mate. It's because your backdrop's on. Won't do it. If you do that, still struggling. Nope. Nah, mate. It's just, not going to work. Nope. Nah.
I can almost see it.
Almost, but I can't even tell it's Brewers.
Well, it's not the backdrop off then. God.
Yeah.
Just let people know what we're doing.
Yeah, well, Luke's trying to. We have a backdrop that says Aimless Yarn in the background. It's like this auto green screen thing that Zoom does. And the other problem is, it's great for just having pictures of us and blurring out as background. But if you want to show anything, like a picture of something, then it's really crap because it just. Here we go. Let's see if we can see. There you go. Yes, I can only see the top of. I can't see the top of him though.
There he is.
Oh my God!
Look at him.
20 years ago.
I took a picture of me telly all that were on and sent it to him. But he's not replied to it.
Has he not?
Look at him.
Jesus.
Like that way, literally just started. He closed his mouth and went all down his top.
Oh, I don't blame him. I can't believe he even did it. So
I think he was just kind of conned into it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got to do that, Luke.
And then they were doing all belly flops off the boat.
Oh, gosh. Red marks.
Yeah, and then I did... I were into wrestling at the time. And
what, naked wrestling or mud wrestling? Mud wrestling, yeah. Okay. That's what they do that in Marsden, don't they?
And there were this wrestler at the time called I can't remember what he was called, but he's
Hulk Hogan.
No, what was he called? Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy.
Okay.
And one of his moves was he'd stand on top turnbuckle and he'd flip off the top turnbuckle and land on the guy who's on the mat, kind of on his upper back, do it like a flip, land on him on his upper back, and then turn around and then pin him.
Right.
Anyway, I thought, I'll just do the same thing, because I was quite high up. And anyway, I landed on my back, didn't I, in water, and poof, like that, and ended up with a massive bruise on my back.
You go, oh!
I had a massive bruise on me, like all my back was just bruised.
Did everyone go, oh?
I think so, yeah, but I went in the water. I came back up and then I had another go.
Did you?
Yeah, but everybody with belly flops, you kind of like the best belly flop got a free drink or something, And this guy, obviously the people with the bigger bodies had made the biggest splash.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, when you look back at it now, you think, how stupid. If you think about it, you're already hungover.
Yeah.
Going on a boat that's going to be all over the shop, you're going to get seasick and you're going to get ill from the alcohol.
I know. But it went to this other beach, right? The boat went to this other beach. I just remembered this. So we were going to this other beach where the boat ties up to this jetty thing. Which we want a jetty. We're like built into this cliff edge. And there were a guy on a lilo Just as the boat were pulling in, you could see him panicking to get out of the way because he wouldn't see on this Lilo, and the boat's going, trying to get him to move. He was trying to paddle. He's trying his hardest to paddle to get out of the way. His Lilo wasn't moving, so to jump off his Lilo.
Oh, God.
To jump up his Lilo and try and get out of the way before a boat ran him over.
But how far out to sea was he?
Not too far, but it just couldn't move quick enough, Anyway, that beach that we went to was the beach that were in Kevin and Perry Go Large.
I was just going to say,
yeah.
I was about to mention that vaccine you just had turns you into Kevin.
Yeah. So
I couldn't think of name.
Kevin. The bit at the beginning, or is it at the end? It's the bit at the beginning where they're all on the beach, and it's at the beginning and at the end.
Yeah.
The bit where Kevin and Perry are in sea, and I think Perry ends up swallowing some shit that's floating in water or something like that. Yeah, that beach is the one that's on the film, but it's all built up and it's all houses now, apparently.
Is it?
Yeah. But,
well, that is, if you want to kind of sample what that era was like, if you just watch that film, it'll give. It is a comedy, but the music and everything.
Exactly. And it was set, and it was kind of made around that same era.
It was. Yeah. So that'll give you what it felt like. I mean, what kind of phone would you have had then?
Phone?
Yeah.
Probably a Nokia 3210 or something.
Yeah, so it would have just been text, wouldn't it? To meet up or what have you.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
But it's crazy how times have changed, isn't it? But I'm a little bit envious of you because I really wanted to go to Ibiza.
Yeah.
At that era, and you probably would have invited me. I know you would have.
I don't know why. Why weren't you? Why didn't I? Just don't.
Because I was bloody itched, wasn't I? I was my ex, one of that. If it was 2001, I would have been 20. So that would have meant that I wouldn't have gone on a lads' holiday if I was with someone. That's what I just used to do.
Right.
I wouldn't, which I regret because I really wanted to go to Ibiza. I mean, to be fair, Kaz surprised me years later. I think for my 31st birthday or something, and she actually took me to Ibiza. Like a complete random surprise, and it was awesome.
Nice one.
Yeah, but obviously the music had changed and stuff like that. But the music I grew up with was all trance and that, you know what I mean? So I would have gone with you. But I'm glad you did that. You know what I mean? Because I didn't get...
When you hear music from that time, it always takes me back to then.
I bet it does. And the music was absolutely fantastic. You listen to it now and you get chills down your spine.
Yeah.
How good it was. You see, I didn't go on any holidays, any lads' holidays until I was 29.
Right.
29? Yeah, I would have been 29 when I went on my first lads' holiday. And that was, I went to Magaluf on my mate's Rob stag do. Do you ever meet Rob? Have you heard of him? You know when I used to live in Barnsley, there were a lad called Rob that I used to hang about with.
No, I don't seem to recollect him.
And he had a Honda S2000 like me, and he had all kinds of Hondas, and all his mates were into cars. They had Evos and DC2s and all kinds of stuff, all mad Honda heads. And it was his stag do. We went to Magaluf, so that was really my first kind of lads' holiday.
What were it like? Were it good?
It was amazing.
What year were it in?
So it would have been 2010, May 2010.
Right, okay.
And I went then because obviously I think the relationship was on its arse anyway. And I just thought, fuck it, let's just go. You know what I mean? So I just went, and it was brilliant. And all lads were all the same age. And I remember we went there. I turned into a kid again. It was like I went back 10 years.
Lads' nights out do that anyway. It doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah, they do. They do. You do go back in time again.
Yeah.
You get a bit mischievous. But I remember on the plane journey, on plane journey, when one of the lads, Ian, he fell asleep with his mouth open. So I put like a really close-up photo of him, like really ugly shot of him asleep, and put it on Facebook. This is when you had Facebook on your phones by then.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. That was my first mischievous thing. But what I was going to say, it was great because we're all the same age, and they just brought Ministry of Sound had just brought out this like a trance album, like classic trance album. One of the lads had it on the phone, and he brought a speaker with him in the room. And we had this really nice hotel room that looked over the bay. In Magaluf, and we were playing this music, and it was just like going back in time. We were both sat on the veranda, like having a fag and looking out over this beautiful horizon and listening to trance. It was just like, this is absolutely awesome, it really was. And it was like a bit of a rerun for me in a way. It was great. I got that kind of buzz out of it, you know. But yeah, I remember that. Well, I remember the first.
Go on.
I remember the first night. You know, the first night you go, well, it's the first night. I want to savor myself, so I'm not going to go mad the first night. But you always go mad. That's the first night. Like. Every time without fail. Yeah. You go out with, you know, think, right, I'm not going to go mad. I'm going to save myself for the big night, and you're that excited that you're
excited, aren't you? You just kind of want to
go, fuck it, let's go out on piss, lads. And I remember we went into this bar and we were drinking cocktails out of buckets and long straws. I've got pictures, I'll stick them on Instagram.
Go on, then.
And we were already wankered, like, by that point. And
you weren't Brits abroad, were you?
Oh, it was just Magaluf just covered in Brits abroad. I mean, we were talking, this was May, so really it's off season, but it was heaving. There were loads of stag do. There was another stag do there, right? This wasn't our main night, so we went dressed out normally. But there was another stag do, and they're all dressed up as Mario and Luigi. It was excellent. Yeah. So we had some photos taken with them. But I remember, right, we went to this one bar, and outside there was this buckaroo thing, you know, you sit on it, and everyone were having a go on it. And then Adam, who is Rob's brother-in-law, he says, right, I'm gonna have a go on it, like that. And I was drunk, but when I get drunk, I get giddy. You know what I'm like when I'm drunk. I get very mischievous. And he goes, right. And anyway, it's just about to start, and who comes flying onto back of him? Me. Jumps up back like that, gives him a proper bear hug. He's like, no, get off, it looks proper gay. And I'm like, yeehaw, baby. Yeah. So I'm like hugging him on top of it. It looked so gay, but it was so funny. And I've got some pictures of that as well, because everyone were pissing themselves as we did it. Like, and that same night, I think, towards end at night, I was absolutely hammered, mate, like proper hammered. And they end up playing a prank on me because I've been pranking everyone else. They picked me up and they put me in a bin. I was like, what? And there's a video of that, so I'll find that video and I'll stick that on Instagram as well. It's actually on my Facebook. I'll dig it out, mate. But yeah, that was proper. But yeah, but anyway, the second night, which was our main night, we'd kind of pulled ourselves together by then. Were you
just there for a weekend?
Yeah, just a long weekend. Yeah. But the main night, we all got dressed up as the village people. Right. And Rob, he was the gay biker one, you know. So I wasn't in. Rob was the gay biker. I was an Indian. What's his bloody name? One lad was Ian was the policeman. Adam was the sailor.
Your cousin
Mike was no. Mike was the builder. And then there was what's his bloody name? Oh, that's annoying me. Greg, that were it. Greg was the what's the other one? I can't think of all Village People. What were they called? But anyway, I'll stick it all on.
I don't know.
But we got so much attention on that holiday. It was ridiculous. Everybody, because the costumes were so good, everyone just wanted, because we had big moustaches as well. We had massive, big moustaches put on. Everyone wanted the photos with us. And it was such a good night getting dressed up. It was brilliant. And I remember we ended up in this nightclub called BCM, which is like one of the biggest ones in Magaluf. And I remember just getting absolutely
BCM,
wasted.
does it stand for biggest club in Magaluf?
It probably does. I couldn't even remember what it was, but it was excellent, mate. It was brilliant. Really, really good. Really enjoyed it, and you know, I kind of felt like I'd made up for a bit of lost time, if you know what I mean. But I definitely would have preferred to have gone with you, though, mate. Definitely to Ibiza, because
maybe we did.
What were your next? What were your next?
I was just going to say about Ibiza. One of the best things about it is you start your night at Cafe Mambo.
Yeah.
Because
was that just a religious thing? Was it?
You just go there. It's so chilled out. It's just crazy. The music's calm. Everybody's just so chilled out on beach. And then there's these two like rocky islands type thing. I can't really explain what they are, but they're offshore basically in sea, and the sun sets between them, but between them two island things. And then obviously the thing is, you know, once it's gone down, that's when your night properly starts. You know, there's like flamethrowers there, you know, like fire eaters and jugglers and just all them types of acts going on, you know what I mean? And it's just so chilled out and so awesome. The music's just chilled and everybody's just there to have a great night and a good time, and there's no assholes or up like that. You just, everybody's so chilled out, and then obviously everybody claps when sun goes down. I think it just seems to happen.
Yeah.
And then that's when your night starts. You know what I mean? And it's just so chilled. And then I went again to Ibiza in 2006 with Claire. We did all the same stuff.
Really? Was it just as good?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. We did all the same stuff. All the music were good. We did all the same. I think we did a booze cruise.
Did you pull?
There's a every night. Every night. But there's a caricaturist, an artist on the front on the main promenade. And he drew a picture of me when I went there with Brewis as a cable guy.
Right.
Our upper telegraph pole, because I were a cable guy at the time with you. And our upper telegraph pole, because in Spain, obviously cable goes, it's overhead, it's not underground. So when I told him I were a cable installer, he drew me up a telegraph pole. And so I'm there with me harness on and stuff like that, and I've got some tools hanging off me, and you know, and I'm a cartoon, and I'm looking over at this house with the bathroom window open, and this woman ain't shower. Cartoon. I've lost it. I've lost the picture. I lost the picture. I was so gutted. But when we went back, me and Claire, the same guy were there doing pictures again.
Yeah.
And so we got another one done. And that's the one that you know, the one where I'm Superman.
The Superman one.
Yeah, it's the same guy did that drawing. Yeah,
that's excellent.
So, so we went.
You have to go back again just to get a picture,
just to see if he's still there.
Yeah, that's nuts, that mate. Yeah. I mean, you know, when you went the first time round, did you notice that everyone was drinking just water, not alcohol?
No, don't think so. No. Why?
Because Ibiza's just rife with disco biscuits, mate.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Right. No.
Yeah.
I didn't see none of that happening, but like I said in a previous one, I kind of naive to seeing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never done it, so I've never kind of looked for it or watched for it. So
Yeah.
I'm not of no doubt that it goes on.
Yeah.
I know it goes on, but no, me and Brewis and that we're just there and just there for a laugh and a drink and what have you. But yeah, we had a great laugh. We had a great time.
Awesome, mate. Well, I think next time, holiday after I went to Magaluf with lads, with my uncle's stag do.
Oh, back to Magaluf again?
No, it wasn't Magaluf, it were Turkey. But this was quite a weird one because it was literally 2 weeks after I broke up with my ex. So it's quite an hard time for me because I was obviously adjusting to life on my own and sorting shit out and that. And it actually did me some good because my confidence wasn't there. Whoops, smashed me microphone. I'd lost my confidence, and it was really good for me to go on this stag do. You know, I couldn't really afford it, but my uncle helped me out a bit, and because he wanted me to be there, and it was awesome. I was there. We were there a week. Yeah, we were there a week. So we flew out to Turkey, and what they did was we went sailing on a catamaran.
Oh yeah.
For was it a week? It must have been about a week, yeah. So there
were
me.
So you're on. So that was the trip on a.
That was a stag do. Yeah.
It was. So were you guys? Did you have some guys sailing, or just you?
Yeah. So we had a captain.
Right. Okay.
And he did the sailing. Yeah. We'd help out now and again with some like winding those rope things as you do and what have you. But yeah, and he'd just drop us at different destinations, and then we'd stay over in the actual catamaran because it was a big one. So it slept all of us, and I think there was me, Adam, my mum's fella at the time, and Uncle Jon. And you've met my Uncle Jon, you must have.
I think you must possibly have.
Yeah. And it was absolutely brilliant, mate. You know, there with my cousin and Charlie went. Charlie is, you probably heard me talk about Charlie. Charlie's Adam's best mate, and we get along like an house on fire. And
Adam's dad, your Uncle Jon.
Yeah.
Right.
And Charlie's, and Charlie's Adam's best mate.
Yeah.
And Charlie's just a party animal, mate. And anyway, we stopped off. We used to stop off in places and just have meals and that, but this one time, one of the stops was, I can't remember the bloody name of the place. Anyway, it was quite a party place. And anyway, we went out for a meal, had this expensive meal, and all older ones were like, we're just going to retire. But like we were all up for it. Like me, Adam, and Charlie were like, we're going to go out and just have a laugh. So anyway, we went out. I went to this bar, and Adam had bought these funny teeth that you put in for his stag do that we didn't get to use. So we just we were taking photos of each other with these teeth. I'll try and dig them out, put them on Instagram. But yeah, it was so funny. We were taking all these funny pictures. Anyway, as the night went on, there were a couple of girls that took a shine to us, like, and they started like going to bars with us and that. And anyway, me and Adam ended up copping off with these girls, like, and Charlie ended up he was sulking because he didn't pull anyone, so we ended up get off with these girls, which was great for my confidence at that time.
Yeah,
because I was like, oh no, nobody wants to go out with me because I'm 29, no one's interested in me, and blah blah blah. And anyway. Sorry?
Get a little violin out, did you?
Yeah, no, just my confidence wasn't there. But anyway, getting off with these girls and that. Anyway, we ended up getting off with them, going back to the hotel, and then we ended up walking back, me and Adam, and it was daylight by this point. So we're still steaming. And then anyway, we ended up thinking, where the hell's Charlie gone? We couldn't find him anywhere. And then anyway, we were just approaching the catamaran. And he pokes his head up and he keeps putting his head up and down like, what's he bloody doing? So he looks and he'd only bloody thrown up all over the bloody catamaran. So he were cleaning all the sick up. Oh God! But it was excellent, mate. It did me a world of good, and it was just nice to see my uncle and my cousin and just have a really good time. So that were this, and it was really good, like I said, for me and my confidence and getting me out there again. You know, because it is a big thing when you break up with someone. Because I was with my last one for 10 years, wasn't I? 10 years. So it was a long time. Yeah, well, 19 to 29, I was with her. So it was, got a lot of getting used to again. Yeah. What about you? What about you, Luke? Was any, after obviously IB, was any other IBFers you went to?
Not like that, no, but the main mates holiday that I went on, because I went on that with Brewis, and then we went to Tunisia in 2010.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there were me and Claire, Brewis, Jodie, Becky and Cleggy.
Oh, you went as like a friends holiday kind of thing.
Like a friends holiday, yeah. And
couples as well.
Yeah, so there were me and Claire as a couple, then there were Cleggy and Becky. Then obviously we wanted Brewis and Jodie to come with us. They weren't a couple, but they started to share a room.
Oh, but that was awkward.
Shared a room, but it was obviously just mates, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was funny because Becky came up with this rota to go down and put towels on beds, you know.
Oh God, like the Germans.
like
the
God. Germans, yeah.
The Germans.
Anyway, I don't know. She ordered it out so that like each couple would go down and put the towels on. And, so say we're like Becky and Cleggy on the Monday. It was then Brewis and Jodie on the Tuesday, then us on the Wednesday, and then it were Becky and Cleggy, and then Brewis and Jodie again, and then after that we'd have to go down and do it. So we all had to get up early one day.
It sounds like a very grown-ups holiday, this.
Yeah, it was a grown-ups holiday, yeah, but it was funny. But that holiday was I'd messaged Cleggy a couple of weeks before saying basically, have you got a big plan for this holiday? And he's like, oh, no. I mean, I don't think he knew what I meant, but he goes, no. So I thought, right, that's okay then. So I bought an engagement ring.
Oh, really?
Took it with me. And on the last night, because you could go off for meals and stuff, like Cleggy went off for a meal with Becky one night and we did and stuff. And then last night we planned like a big mates meal, you know what I mean, where we're all sat together.
Yeah.
And we got to the end of it and I'm like, has everybody done, you know, what they want to do for holiday, you know? And they're like, oh yeah, I think so, yeah. And like Bruce said he thought we were going to jump in swimming pool or something. Or Cleggy had said that. Because there was a swimming pool next to the table, you know, and they all thought we were going to jump in swimming pool. Anyway, I proposed to Claire. So, yeah.
You soppy old git.
Oh, yeah. And then Claire turned around and hugged Becky.
Why?
It was his first reaction. But the thing was, I'd got that drunk. Yes? I'd got that drunk that she said yes, but I not kind of registered what she was saying yes to. Because I had the ring in my top pocket and I was trying to pluck my courage up to do it. And, and I don't normally drink red wine, but I'm drinking red wine, you know, and eventually I kind of just got around to doing it, but I was that nervous. That nervous, and there was that much adrenaline going through me that I was just kind of, I asked her to marry me. And then when she said yes, the question I'd asked had gone out of my head. So she goes, yes. And I was trying to compute what she was saying yes to. Yeah.
There's probably the alcohol as well, mate.
I know, yeah. I know.
You
did you get into any like scuppers on your holidays abroad? Any of your holidays, not just your lads' holidays, but like you got into a situation where you think something might go down here.
Well, when I was 18, I went on holiday with my. This is weird. This was 1998. It was, and I was. Oh, was it 98 or 97? I was 18 either way. It was at 98, I think it was. And remember Alan and Mum used to see that Alan.
Yeah.
I went on holiday with him, me and my sister and my mum, and it was like me and my sister used to just go off and go out on his own kind of thing while they did their own thing. So it was kind of like a holiday, first holiday, if you know what I mean. But I remember, it's quite embarrassing actually what I'm going to tell you. But I remember I ended up getting off with this lass that I didn't think, she was way out of my league. I don't know how I managed it, but we went out with her. She was Finnish, and she came out with a friend. And a friend had an English boyfriend, and we all got along like an house on fire. And we ended up drinking, and then we ended up going to this nightclub. And we took my sister with her because I was looking after my sister because she was only 15 at the time. And I'd had loads to drink. And anyway, this German guy, this older geezer, must have been in his 30s, kept dancing next to her, and I didn't like it. And I took I don't know why, a really bad disliking to him. Like, what the fuck's he doing around my sister kind of thing, And I was just in protection mode because she's only 15. And rage just got better of me. And he only tried to dance with her a few times, but I ended up pretending to dance next to him, and I just turned around and cracked him. Like really bad cracked him. Like his nose exploded when I hit him, and he went down like a sack of spuds. And I hit him that hard. I've still got the scar today. I'm not proud of this, by the way, but I've still got a scar. I don't think you can see that on this knuckle.
Oh, yeah, I can see it, yeah.
That's his nose bone cutting my skin. That's how I hit him. And he went down, blood went everywhere. And then we had to bundle out at club because the bouncers were chasing us.
Yeah.
So we literally ran out and got my sister into a bloody taxi with these girls and just sped off because they were like proper after us, what, to get us. So that was scary, man. So yeah, that's the only kind of. But generally, no, because when I drink normally, I'm like really happy and mischievous. You know what I mean? So I don't think I ever have been in a bad situation like that. It's always been happy. Everyone's been happy because they're just happy to be out and having a drink and being abroad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about yourself? Have you ever been in? Apart from obviously fighting lucky men.
I thought I was going to get kidnapped.
What? Who'd fucking kidnap you?
Oh, mate. Just, when I look back on it, I'd gone to Egypt with my ex. And there were brochures for going to the pyramids.
Oh, yeah.
But you had to fly there, you know what I mean? And I think it was like 70 quid or something like that. And I just couldn't afford to fly there from like Sharm el Sheikh to Cairo to look at pyramids. And, it wasn't just the flight, it was a load of other stuff as well. And it was more than 70 quid. Because, anyway, we'd met these other couple there who they were there on a honeymoon, and we'd made friends with them, and we were talking about this going to Cairo and stuff like that, and wanting to see them. But obviously the flights were like into hundreds. I think that's what it was. I don't know where that 70 quid came from. The flights were into hundreds, so we knew we couldn't afford it. We were talking to them about it, and we were coming back from going out in the town. We'd been to like a casino or something, and we were walking past this taxi rank, and we were just saying about going to Cairo and it costing too much money. And the guy says, "Oh, you wanted to go to Cairo?" And we're like, "Yeah, we can't afford it." And he goes, "Oh, I can drive you there if you want." And we're like, "Drive us there?" And he goes, "Yeah." And we didn't know how far it was. We knew it was a long way if you're going to have to fly there, but we didn't. We thought maybe it was driving to Scotland. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is like 4 hours. Isn't it?
So how much for? And he says, "I'll do it for 70 quid between 4 of us." So I thought, fucking hell. All right. Do you know what I mean? That sounds fine. So he's like, "Okay, I'll come and get you. I'll go to reception, get reception to call you at 4 o'clock, and then I'll come out and we'll go."
What, in the morning?
4 a.m, yeah. So we can get there at a decent time. Right, okay. So we went to bed and waited for a call, and then we came down and we got in taxi. He goes, "Right, okay." So we went and we were driving for ages, and it eventually came light, and we're in the middle of desert.
Right.
And maybe we were driving till maybe 8 o'clock or something like that, and then he pulled over, and then this other car met us, right, and pulled up behind us, and so we're kind of like looking at each other and looking at this other car, and we're thinking, what's going on? And he says, "Okay, now you're getting in that car," and we were looking at each other like, holy crap. No, we agreed you'd take us to Cairo. And he goes, no, my air conditioning's broken. You go in that car. And we're like, it didn't feel broken, the air conditioning.
Yeah.
And then he said, and then the guy got out.
Yeah.
In the other car, came over and he says, "Oh, yeah, you're coming in my car now." And we're like, no. And then she was saying like, he goes, "But it's going to cost you more. It's going to cost you like 120 quid or whatever it was. I don't know."
Yeah.
And she starts arguing with him then. I goes, "Don't fucking argue with him, because it starts getting intense."
Heated. Yeah.
And you know what types of stuff goes on out that way, And so we were like, we had no choice really. We had to get in this other car. And so we got in the car. That's when she argued about the price. And I said, "Just shut up. We'll just agree to it because we don't know what's going to happen." And so she's quiet about it. And then the guy sets off and the other car leaves. And then we keep getting stopped at all these checkpoints and stuff like that. And then we end up going further into desert, and we're going into these deep cuttings, where
dunes.
You've got big rock faces either side of you, little lanes going off, and you're just thinking, oh my God, it's like Breaking Bad, you know what I mean? Or you just don't know where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
And so the whole time for hours, we're just like, what on earth? Where are we going? And anyway, we turned up in Cairo. But the whole time we were like, "Are we being kidnapped?" But it's in what?
Oh, sorry, you just cut out for a sec there, mate. Where you said we arrived in Cairo.
Yeah, that was it. We arrived in Cairo, and it was just like the whole time we were thinking, what's going to happen to us? Are we going to get our heads chopped off or something?
Oh God!
But we arrived in Cairo, and it was fine. And then he took us to this mango place where we got some fresh mango juice, and then we went to this monastery, and then to this other place, and then he took us out to Giza, where the pyramids are. And we got on camels and went out into pyramids. And the guy, the couple who were with us, he had a camera, and he asked one of the Egyptians to kind of say, "Can you take a picture of us all?" Yeah. And he goes, "Yeah, okay, yeah." So he hands him the camera, he takes a picture, he goes, "That'll be £5." Because you watched my own camera. Is this my own camera? Get lost.
Oh, God.
Funny. But then,
I've been there as well, yeah.
But then, when it came to going back, the car that we'd originally got in were there waiting for us to take us back. So the new car had gone, and the guy who originally had us had turned up to take us back. And the air conditioning had broken in the car. So we had 10 hours in the car with no air conditioning on the way back, with 5 of us in this bloody sedan. Absolutely red hot, sweating, stinking. And the guy had this CD on.
Yeah.
And obviously couldn't understand it, what they were singing about.
But it's on repeat.
Well, the guy, Kevin, who the fellow that we were with, who had met there, he just made the mistake of asking him, "What's this song about?" And he goes, "Oh, he's singing about all his girlfriends and stuff like that." Anyway, he stuck the song on repeat. And it was playing the same song all the way back. But the thing was, right, we got back and he goes, "Oh, that song." And then goes, "What you on about?" And he goes, "That bloody song." What about it? And he says, "That whole song, we've been listening to the same song on repeat all the way back for the last 8 hours." And I goes, "Have we?" I says, "Have we?" I didn't realise because it all sounded the same anyway.
Oh, mate.
I didn't realise we'd be listening to the same song over and over. Because it all sounded the same anyway.
So what's the lesson there, Luke? Just take the bloody plane. Stop being a tight ass and take the bloody plane. Because I went there and we took the plane. I remember.
What were it, like 120 quid? I can't remember how much the plane was. But you couldn't afford it anyway. And they could split that taxi between us. It were cheaper, but it were an experience anyway.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that when I found out we'd listened to that same song on repeat all the way back and I didn't even realise.
Oh, at least he worries about the sound of it, mate.
I know.
Oh,
but yeah, God, it was so hot in that car and it was just awful.
Just you, cheapskate. Well, I think the last holiday I can remember before obviously getting with Kaz, lads holiday anyway, was I went to Benidorm with some lads from Barnsley. And, we talk about Rob. Well, he had a friend, it was a friend of a friend. So Rob's friend, Scott, really nice lad, got along like an house on fire. And anyway, he knew I didn't have out planned for the summer.
Yeah.
And he, one of his mates dropped out because they used to go on a holiday with their own mates every year religiously.
Yeah.
But one of the mates couldn't do it this year for whatever reason. So they invited me. And I says, yeah, I'm proper up for it because they're all nice lads anyway. I knew Scott was a nice lad, so I knew his mates, his lifelong friends would be good lads as well. So anyway, I remember, me jumping on, going, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely going for it." And I remember it was quite awkward because he picked me up in a like a minivan, and Scott was in the front, and I with these lads I didn't know in the back, but they soon made me feel at home.
Yeah.
Was it Ben and Waggy and Scott's brother and this other lad, Steve? Yeah. Yeah, not the Waggy you're thinking of. Just it's a different. There's other people called Waggy.
Waggy, yeah. Well, were he at school?
But I remember.
Were he someone at school?
Waggy. Yeah, bag fight with him, Luke.
Is that who it was?
No, it wasn't him. No, this is lads from Barnsley.
No, is that who it was though, Waggy? Is that who the bag fight were with?
Yes, it was.
All right.
Yeah.
Waggy.
So anyway, it was going to be messy from the start because we had the flight, and then as soon as we got into customs, we went and bought a bottle of Jägermeister, and we started drinking it on the coach, and we drank half of it before we even got to the bloody hotel. So it was messy from the get-go. And I remember I was that drunk already. I went upstairs. We're all hungry, so I went upstairs, got change quick, brought €50 down with me. and it must have fallen out of my bloody pocket. Because I went for this meal, and I sat down and had this lovely meal, and it comes to paying, and I'm like, how embarrassing. I says, lads, I've took €50 out of me. It's fucking gone. You know what I mean? He says, don't worry about it. We'll pay for it. I said, oh, thanks so much. So we're proper nice lads, like decent lads. And anyway, we went back to the hotel, got ready, and then we went straight out. And then I remember the first bar we went to, they were dark by this point. There were this a guy from New Zealand, and he had all like these tribal tattoos and stuff, and he was with this woman. And they were like doing like fire stuff with fire, like doing dangerous stuff with fire. And we're all watching things. They're bloody good, them, aren't they? And anyway, the guy stands up and goes, right, I need some volunteers. So I'm pissed. And I says, fuck me, I'll do it. Anyway, I ends up, it gets me to take my shirt off.
I need some volunteers.
Yeah. And end up doing bloody hacker with him. In front of everyone in bar. Like that. It was just like but yeah, I was already hammered by that point. And we went into different bars. We were on all kinds of stuff. We were just getting hammered, just listening to some music. Went into this one bar. And I don't know why. Well, it was more of a club. Cheap, drinks were so cheap. And every so often they had this bloody truck on mounted next to the DJ booth, right? And every so often it just go ba 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 like that. We were like, what the hell is that all about? Massive truck coming. You'd be like dancing like ba ba ba. Like, what the hell's going on? This is weird, man. Oh dear. But they do weird shit in different countries, don't they? But anyway, really good time. And then we lost. This was the first night we lost Steve and one of the other lads. It always happens near the end at night, doesn't it? And we found out in the morning that Steve, he was left on his own. That way. Steve really needed a poo. And he didn't want to use the toilets in the clubs because they were manky. So he tried to walk back to the hotel, but he got caught short. And he ended up taking it. I know. He ended up taking a dump at Side at Road. But he didn't have any toilet paper, so he pulled his pants up, walks back, and in the morning, his mate kind of walks in and he's crashed on bed, and there's just these shitty pants on the floor. We got into bed, he just thrown them off and just got into the bed. Oh, it's awful. Oh dear. But the things you get up to, mate. But anyway, the next morning we're all kind of hungover, but we started drinking straight away, and it was weird. It was like this pool. They had a pool that was really shallow, and you could kind of just like sit on the end of it and drink beer. And we were drinking beer all like afternoon. And then we thought, right, tonight's the night. We're gonna go out and get hammered again. And we're like, right, hair of the dog. Let's do it again. So anyway, we ended up going out again. Absolutely brilliant night. It's going really, really well. And I just went to another level, mate. I was so drunk and out of it. Just took it all in. And anyway, this time we managed to get back to the hotel. But I was so giddy, mate, coming back to the hotel. I've never done out like this before in my life. I ended up, as we got onto our floor, because our rooms were next to each other, I ended up picking up an extinguisher.
God.
And firing the extinguisher at two of the lads and chasing them into their room. They slammed the door and locked the door. There's a gap like that under the door. So I just get the extinguisher. I know, I get the extinguisher. I was proper. I was off my head, mate. Put the extinguisher under the gap. I went like that. Didn't think out of it. By this point, the lad Scott I was sharing the room with, I ran into our room. I said, Scott, where are you? Like trying to find him, like. And then he says, oh, I'm on the toilet anyway. So I booted the door open and just sprayed him as he sat with a pee. So he's all white. But anyway, I didn't realize when you spray an extinguisher, it's not like wet, it's like a powder.
Yeah.
Right. So the whole bathroom, the whole room was covered in this thick powder, like that thick everywhere, right? And I didn't realize how bad it was until I woke up in the morning, and it's everywhere, mate. And the cleaners come in and they were playing absolute hell with me, like, you know what I mean? Because anyway, I went into my mate's room and like apologized. Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't know what came over me. And they says, you sprayed under our door so bad. It went everywhere. It went all over his beds. So we had to sleep on the floor.
Why didn't they say out to you?
What do you mean?
Just like tell you not to do it through the door or whatever.
Because I was chasing him with it.
Oh, for God's sake.
So they couldn't sleep on bed. And they ended up sleeping on veranda, sorry.
Outside.
That's how bad it was. It was thick. And I went downstairs to the hotel, and I just, because they were going to charge me. I says, look, I'm really, really sorry. I didn't realize. I thought it was a wet extinguisher. I'm really sorry. And they let me off in end. But oh God, it was everywhere, mate. Those cleaners must have bloody hated me. But yeah, we looked like ghosts by the end of it. It was just nuts, mate. But it was. You do daft stuff. When he
sprayed him on toilet.
It was so out of it himself. He was just like, yeah, what are you doing? He was just like a ghost, mate. I've got pictures somewhere of it. I think I took a photo of him after I sprayed him, sat on the toilet. I'm going to have to raid it at some point on my lunch break and just put all these on Instagram so you can have a look. But yeah, mate. But yeah, those were my lads' holidays.
We went on did we go on a booze cruise when we were in? We did, didn't we? Yeah, we didn't go to a beach there, did we? We stayed on it, didn't we?
Yeah, we had that video, didn't we?
Yeah, well, there's a video, a DVD of all the like excursions and things that we went on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. You're the only person I've ever known that takes a camcorder.
No, the people who were doing the excursions, they were filming it.
Oh, I was just gonna say, mind me camera.
Yeah. So, but they were filming it. Yeah. So me and Claire on this DVD and doing these excursions and stuff that we went on.
Yeah.
So I'll have to dig that out somewhere. That'll be something.
Yeah, dig it all out. You could stick it on your YouTube channel. I'll put some links to it, mate.
Yeah.
Our one listener might appreciate it.
I know.
You know?
Yeah, that was a good holiday.
But anyway, look, looking back, reflecting on holidays and lads' holidays, they are awesome, aren't they? But they can quickly get out of hand. So try and have your wits about you.
I know, yeah. I think because you're so excited to be abroad, and you're with your mates and stuff like that.
And you kind of feel invincible because you're out of your own country and you feel like there's no rules apply.
Yeah, but they do.
They do apply. They definitely do apply.
But you just think that, yeah, like you say, you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I've not been like that, but I know what you mean. It's like when I was there with Brewis and when I've been on holiday, Claire got drunker than me when we were on them holidays.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
You ate your hand.
Well, apart from on last day, yeah.
You had to get your hand bandaged and couldn't go in the pool.
I know. Well, on last night, I had thought of this, but I'd forgotten. On last night when we were in Ibiza, I'd got that pissed that we were going back to the hotel and I lost my balance and ended up walking backwards and then falling over. And obviously I had to put my hands out to break my fall and ended up with some glass in my hand. Yeah.
Did you get it out?
Yeah, I took the glass out and stuff. I got it all bandaged up and stuff like that. But I wanted to, couldn't go in pool obviously next day because otherwise I'd probably end up with gangrene.
Well, you could have done. You could have just put your arm up. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah, but we're that knackered because I think it was last night, and we were in a nightclub, and if we had they were kicking us out at 10 o'clock or 9 or 10 o'clock or something that next day. And the flight wasn't until something like bloody 8 o'clock at night that day. So you had nowhere to go. You know what I mean? So I ended up paying for another night in hotel. Just so, so we didn't have to get up. Yeah, we had... so everybody else had been kicked out at hotel. Yeah, they were all just milling around pool or whatever. But because like the last night we'd left the last nightclub at about 5 o'clock or 5:30 in the morning or something like that. And then you had to get out at hotel at 9 o'clock. I don't think so. Because so in end we went back and I ended up going to reception, paying for another night in a hotel, and getting some. Pineapple juice and some bacon sandwiches. I always went back to bed.
Yeah.
And then everybody else who we were there with, they were all outside milling about in pool and stuff like that.
Sod that, man.
But I was just like, oh man, because I was knackered. Like for ages, I was looking at clock, do you know what I mean? And just saying, oh God, we need to get back now. We're going to get kicked out of a hotel at like 9 or 10 o'clock or something like that. And we're just going to have no time in bed and nowhere to sleep. And got planes later on in the day. Do you know what I mean? It was just so, oh my God. But yeah, I ended up bloody falling over and getting some glass in my hand.
Yeah, well, this is part of going abroad, isn't it? You end up drinking too much and hurting yourself, don't you?
And then when we were flying back from Ibiza with Brewis, I remember I sat in airport and plane had been delayed 6 hours. My mum rang me.
Yeah.
My mum rang me. And she goes, you're delayed.
Well, it's
I was like, no, I'm delayed. Because you'll be looking at it on teletext, you know.
Well, your tea's ready.
Because you could look at plane times and delays and stuff like that. She always used to look for it on teletext, you know, and you bring it all right on the screen. Teletext, yeah, and she could see
bamboozled, Luke.
Yeah. And so that's what she was looking on there for, because she knew what plane I was getting. And she rang me and said, you're delayed. I'm like, I know I'm delayed. I'm sat here. I've been sat here for the last 3 hours waiting.
Your tea's going to get cold now.
Oh, God. And then when me and Claire went to Ibiza, we were like 10 minutes out of Manchester Airport, and I realised that I'd not taken my keys, the house keys with us, and my mum were in Scotland. So when we got back, we wouldn't have been able to get in. Thank God, Jodie somehow had a spare key to the house.
Really?
I don't know why she'd had it. She'd had the spare key.
Probably been sniffing your boxer shorts, mate.
But yeah, somehow she had a spare key. So like when we landed, I think it was like 3 a.m. or something. I rang her and asked her if she could either open the door for us or leave key somewhere. I can't remember, but
you fought for a night.
Yeah, ringing her in morning at middle of the night. Yeah, waking her up. But Jodie being Jodie, you know, she's just like, oh, she'd apologise for it. Do you know what I mean?
I was just about to say, she'd apologise for you waking her up.
Oh, yeah. So thank God she had a key, because my mum were in Scotland.
You'd have had to put a window through, Luke, wouldn't you? You know.
But Claire was judging me when we were there because we didn't live together at the time, did we? No, and I'd live out my suitcase, but when I'd finished wearing whatever I was wearing that day, it'd go in a pile next to bed.
Oh God!
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it folded up and just put away neatly or whatever. So I had a mounding pile of clothes next to the bed, and she's kind of like, Is this what this guy's going to be like to live with? Remember?
You had to pull your socks up, did you, Luke?
Yeah. So yeah, but I says, don't worry, I'm not like this at home.
Honest.
But the clothes do go in a pile at side of bed when I've finished wearing them still. Just not quite to that extent.
So what advice would you give people, Luke, if they're thinking of going on an holiday with their mates? I mean, a bit of advice I'd probably give is go on holiday with lads before you settle down. Like you did to Ibiza. You went to Ibiza with Bruce first, didn't you?
Yeah, but why would you give that advice?
The reason I give that advice is because I didn't do that, and I felt I always missed out.
Right.
So there's always that part
So
of
what
me.
did you miss out on, though? I mean, why would you say do it before you settle down?
To get the boy out of you.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to get into a relationship and regret not being able to do things you want to do.
Mm.
So that's why I say to people, your marriage is going to stand a better chance of lasting if you've already been on lads' holidays and had a really good time. So you've done everything you want to do.
Mm.
That's how it is for me anyway. But I think that's probably a good rule of thumb for a lot of people, because I think if you don't do that and there are still stuff you want to do, then it's going to be destined for failure, isn't it? Because let's face it, if your other half is happy with you going out all the time and going on lads' holidays, is something not right there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Relationship is different, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like if they're happy for you to, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So that's what I'd say to everyone is definitely go on a lad's holiday, go on a girl's holiday. You know, do the things you want to do first if you can. You know what I mean? Not everyone's like
I
that.
don't feel
Everyone's
like
just...
you're restricted in what you can do either.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. You can just,
you can just let your hair down a bit, can't you?
Let your hair down and just do whatever you need to do and want to do and have to do. Because obviously, if you're with someone, you can't necessarily do everything you want to do while you're on holiday, can you?
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it, and that's where cheating comes in. If you are with someone and you do end up blooming going and you are with someone, 9 times out of 10, you are going to cheat if you're with someone and you're going on a lad's holiday.
So that's why you don't do it. So that's why you don't get settled down. Yeah.
Exactly. And if you do go on a lad's holiday, try and look after each other.
Exactly.
Because stuff can go wrong when you've had a drink and you hear horror stories, don't you? So have your wits about you and have a bit of a backup plan if you do get lost and you do get broken up from each other. Like, I don't know.
Have a meeting point.
Have a meeting point or hide a key somewhere so that if someone does get lost, you know, you've got a backup plan. You know,
you got mobile phones nowadays as well, so obviously
you have, but drunk people tend to lose the mobiles, don't they?
Yeah. So
yeah.
Just have a good time. Just let your hair down.
Yeah, let your hair down. Have a good time, but be safe.
Be safe, yeah, and don't go too mad.
Don't go too mad because you end up throwing up and feeling like shit the next day.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that concludes probably holidays.
Yeah.
So what you want to talk about next week, Luke? Have you thought of anything?
I'm leaving that one up to you.
I think I'm just going to play it by ear, Luke.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to let whatever idea pops in my head.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's other funny stuff we haven't covered yet. You know, we've got 20 years of funny stories, probably more, 25 years of funny stories that we've got tucked away in our little brain somewhere there, Luke. Mm-hmm. But as always, we would love to hear from anyone else's funny stories that we'd love to read those out. That'd be quite entertaining, wouldn't it, Luke?
Mm.
So if our one listener is listening, they can send us an email on aimless.yarn@outlook.com. They can get in touch via Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and you can also watch our episodes on YouTube if you want to see if our wonderful voices match our ugly mugs. You can go on YouTube and watch us there. So Hello.
Yeah, hello. If you're looking at us on YouTube,
hello. And please, as always, please consider liking and subscribing all our content on all the different social media, including YouTube. It just helps get us up there in the rankings, and we might increase the listeners to about 2.
Well,
that's our aim in life. Unless you've been looking at the stats again.
I'm looking at the stats now. We've had, in the last 7 days, 5 unique listeners.
What does that mean, Luke? What does 5 unique listeners mean?
5 unique listeners means that the algorithm obviously looks at maybe the IP address or whatever device it is that's being used to listen to the actual podcast on all the different platforms, and it's determined that 5 different devices have been used to listen to the podcast. So that's what it's determining as 5 unique listeners.
So that means obviously me and you, that's 2.
That'd be 2 of them.
My mum.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, our 2 listeners.
So
don't be shy. Please get in touch.
There's obviously, like your mum, you say your mum listens to it. That's obviously 2 others who I don't know about.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else who listens to it. I've tried to talk to bloody a lot about it, but no one seems to bloody have time to do it.
Yeah,
the estimated audience is 6 based on recent episodes, and our all-time plays is 127.
What minutes?
No, episode plays 100.
Oh, that's not too bad.
So out of 12 episodes so far, because this isn't live yet, it will be by the time you listen to it. But as of the recording of this episode, we've had 127 plays on 12 episodes.
Do you think that's 127 people listening, thinking, "Oh, that's crap," and then turning it off? Or is that 127 plays right through?
He didn't say.
We don't know.
He might say if I look at it.
We don't know, do we?
Let's click on there. So
Luke's looking at his phone now.
Yeah,
I'm describing. He's looking down slightly.
Between January the 7th and January the 13th,
yes,
the Floating Crew had 3 plays.
Wow. How are we doing on YouTube, Luke?
What's this one? This spike.
We don't normally talk about this. I wonder.
Quite a large spike here.
A spike.
Between the 28th of January and the 3rd of February, there were 20 plays. 11 of On the Rocks, 5 of Movie Making, and 4 of The Pilot. So there were 20 plays in that 1 week.
For some reason, I'm trying to look at Aimless Jan on YouTube, and I can't switch between the 2. I'll have to do it on my phone, I think. But yeah, it would be quite interesting to look at what we get at YouTube as well, because sometimes you listen to people and you build a picture up in your head, don't you, of what they look like. Like they probably, I don't know what they think. What do they think that we look like, Luke? Do you think that we're middle-aged men? I don't know.
Here's a funny one for you.
Go on.
Gender. So it lists the genders.
It's going to be female. It's going to be female.
100% female.
How funny.
Yeah.
So that, actually, Bailey might listen to us as well. I think she does listen to us.
I don't know how it determines that, because I'm sure it doesn't, unless when you sign up to Spotify. But only 5% listen to on Spotify, and the 76% of the audience plays it on Google Podcasts. But I know that when you sign up to Google Podcasts, it doesn't ask you whether you're male or female. Does it? So how does it know?
Don't know.
Unless it's because it's linked up to your Google account, and maybe when you sign up to Google, it asks.
Oh, God knows. It's far too complex for our minute little minds, isn't it? But anyway, we're going on a bit here, aren't we?
95% of our audience are UK based. 4% are Australia.
G'day, mate. So maybe our half listener in Australia. G'day, mate. Send us some bloody stories in, mate. That was my terrible Australian accent.
Right, anyway.
So there you go. Right, let's wrap things up. We've gone on for far too long, as we always do in these episodes. So thanks ever so much for listening. Before we go, I nearly forgot. If you are planning a holiday, just use Google and search for clubbing holidays to do clubbing holiday packages. Not that we can go on holiday for probably not until next year, but you've got enough time to plan it. And as I say, planning is key. Luke's got his own YouTube channel. Why don't you check that out? Luke.s.film. Is that right? No, that's wrong.
Luke S. Film.
Luke S. Film. And I've got my own YouTube channel. If you're into cars, mine's called Carflix. So it's spelled Carflix. I have got 2 videos I'm currently editing, which should have been released by now, but every blooming video editing program I've downloaded so far has had a bloody stupid massive watermark across the front of it. But I think I've found a program now that doesn't do that. So bear with me. There should be some new videos coming very soon. Anyway, thanks ever so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I hope it's helped you in any ways. Please send in any requests, not music requests, obviously, or any funny stories. That'd be great to hear from you. But in the meantime, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from him.
And we will see you on the next one. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.